Hello guys, I'm MiLAN. I'm coach of Nouns, and that's about it. Formerly a player, this season is my second venture into coaching, but first time for the TI. Transition to a coach it's very different than a player, but it's something that I always have envisioned myself doing. Like I really like competing in a game on certain levels, and even long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was wondering if one time I stop playing because it's like sort of has to come. I thought I was gonna coach, and like I like to, I don't know, help other people get better or something like that. So coaching transition, it's still the similar game. It's just the way you phrase things. So your knowledge from a player transitions. You don't have to be a great player to be a great coach, but certainly having experience as a player helps a lot. Especially my experience of having worked with multiple TI winning players, or before Matumbaman or the 3-3 and others that have won the TI afterwards. They certainly improved, but I've gained a lot of knowledge of that. I just tried to input it all and try to make my team better. The biggest motivation this year was I've created the tier 3 roster around after post TI shuffle. I didn't really get any good offers. I only got tier 3 offers, close qualifier teams, which are afterwards in the season did okay, but I knew that these teams were not gonna get to Riyadh or TI, not with the amount of support they had at the time. The biggest problem with tier 3 scene is there's no continuous support. So there's an org, the players are not under contract, or if they're under contract, it's very if we make any run, some secret will take a player. So that was the first thing, that I didn't have an org supporting my ideas. The second thing was after I made a tier 3 team, we win a tier 3 tournament, we beat Mouse, and all the players just go to wherever there's any money, because when you're no salary, you rely on winning tournaments, which is very stressful. So I don't blame any of players just going for any salary and just finding a stability. And that's what I wanted too. I wanted kind of a stability. And as a player, I couldn't find it. I couldn't join Nouns as a player. I couldn't join any other teams that ended up qualifying for Riyadh. Even Aftermath, right? I would say, oh my God, I could have joined that team. No, none of the stack teams qualify for Riyadh or lower tier orgs. So I was like, Nouns is a decent roster. They have copy that I previously worked with. They have fly that I really respect. Before we met and now afterwards we met, I have a huge respect for the fly. I mean, his results speak for himself, but he's just his demeanor as a captain, as a experienced player, really something I look forward to learning from. I'm a coach. It sounds funny. I learn from a player, but I think AUI said it once. You can learn from anyone, anywhere. And that's what I felt like in Nouns. I'll have a chance to improve myself as a Dota human, and that's why I joined Nouns. And I feel like, okay, if I join Nouns and I work really hard, we're gonna go to Riyadh, we're gonna go to TI, and then we're gonna see what happens. One thing I don't like is that the games can end fast because of auras, but I think everybody figured out the meta where the gaming was crushing everybody, because Spirit, Falcons, and others didn't really catch up on time and didn't prefer the gameplay. So it's hard to fix a not broken thing. So before the Riyadh, the Falcons have not really been broken. So to adapt and go to Aura meta or whatnot was hard for them. Why to fix something that's not broken? So that's why they lost the Riyadh and Spirit too. So afterwards, some tweaks, some nerfs, but overall meta has balanced out. That everyone's now I feel like it's a valid competition. There's no real cheeses. It's just pure mechanics and overall strategy. So whoever has the best players plus the best ideas. So in not terms oh, I'm gonna bring up, not to take away anything from OG or Tundra wins with Io or that vampiric thing. I forgot the name. It's yeah, it's repressed memory. It was kind of boring, but yeah. So in this TI we haven't seen yet oh my God, this one thing they're doing it. They're ahead of everybody. They're gonna win. It's a most combination of just legit standard strategies plus mechanical skill of players. We see don't want to name names, but it's obvious. Like we say Quinn, we say Pure. Don't want to take anything away from their teammates, but they're the star players, right? So we see all the star players going into the top 6 and competing for a big title. I mean, gaming. We assumed in our prep that gaming will come out with the lone druid strat, the offlane to carry flex, which has the new facet of having only 3 item slots. That's what we think they are hiding. And we kind of banned it for 3 games, so they didn't get to show it against us. Besides that, never know. I don't think teams are hiding too much strategies because it's so important to get an Emperor graphic. It's so important to not lose this extra life if you want to go all the way. But I don't think we'll see something revolutionary as like IO from OG or Raypack. If we do things together and we have a degree of believing in the same thing, it will make us play better than, like, I think we, in some games, definitely slightly overperformed. I didn't really look too much into Spirit or Gaming losing against us, but I would say it's fair to say they didn't play bad. But I think we had moments of unity that brought us up together. Because this team is one of the rare teams that outside of the game gets really along. Like, it's weird to say because we have like 5 different cultures, but we really mix together. Our manager is like, I feel like our manager is one of the most ones involved into team, like a really part of the team. We really appreciate him, and like we really all 7 like sometimes like really see the same page. And in the moments of pressure against Spirit or Gaming, we crumble a bit against Bedbone second game, but I feel like we did come together like as a unit, and that's the biggest takeaway from me, that I want to build a unity in no matter which team I have under my hands. Like, I just want them to feel the connection as, I don't know, like some sort of tribe or something. Yeah. And personal takeaway is that I think it's okay if some things are away from my control, because it's different coach and player, and it's like learning to trust. I think it's connected. To become a part of Unity, I had to leave some things away from my control and just give trust to other people to make good decisions too. And that's what I think trusting other people is something I take from this TI. Maybe a first game against Spirit, because we were like, it was weird. Like, we played a Fissure tournament before TI where we have beaten Gaming, 2 Game of Tundra. Like, before we played like close qualifier, we beat Aurora, Quest, whatnot. Like, we showed some consistency, the thing we lacked the most. And then in the group stage, we get stomped by Bedbone. I mean, and then we play a very competitive game against them. So we start 0-2, kind of rough, you know. Then we play against Falcons. We drop first game, then we beat them. I think the win against Falcons was a showing that Falcons is the best team of the season, and like alongside Gaming. So okay, we are not strangers here. And then not taking 2-0 versus Team 0 was kind of bad, but okay. 2-4, we're gonna get chosen by Spirit. We're feeling kind of. I made a speech to the team that everything I just said, I said to them, like, it's not like we are it's not that we have no chances. And then like beating the Team Spirit, I think was a moment like, we're like, they're defending champions. They're the Team Spirit. Everyone knows who they are and we beat them. That's where we got our energy from. In the lower bracket, I think we just, fair to say, have a very bad matchup versus Bedbone. I think they play very scripted methodically, which kind of doesn't match us very well. We have lost 3 BO3s against them in the last 15 days, and they just had our number in a way. And that's about it. That's what we struggle with. We made a lot of mistakes that costed us these games, but it's just like inconsistency. That's the one struggle I would name and like point out that we had, and it showed against them the most. Because just to bring the point back, if we played against them, like against Team Spirit or Gaming, like we think we would have much better shot of winning. Maybe we will not win, but the games wouldn't be so stompy in a way. I really don't know. I would not be saying the truth that I don't think about this, because this is considered my future too. everything you said works, and the biggest influx of players is in CIS, especially the young players this season. Previous seasons it was Team Spirit, this season it was like Miero for Bad Boom, 9 Class for Tundra. Like usually the newcomers are from CS. I don't know what's happening in China. Like, can people play even all the time, or what's happening? But North America, I don't think there's a way for North America to recover from in Dota. I think it will just slowly disappear. Maybe not next season, maybe not in 2, but probably it will just die off. And all the North American players will just switch to Europe and play with the disadvantage. That's what I assume would happen. I mean, like when the Nouns and the Shopify or whoever, once they are out, like that's gonna be about it. Because it's really hard to sustain in North America as through sponsorship. Main sponsorships are gambling companies. They have hard time operating in America. That's about it. It's gambling or it's oil in terms of sponsorship. So either of these are not really working out for America, or it's the third is something of a crypto thing that we're doing. And like it's just hard for a team to reach an international success without a support of a club. It's been many years since we last saw some random stack make a deep run. It's just how it is. Everybody else has gotten this support. Everybody else is sticking for way longer than before. Even this TI, the top teams, the top 16s, they're gonna make barely any changes. For someone to reach their level and beat them, it's gonna be really hard. Without any support, 100 times harder. Someone could say impossible. So, it's just until sustainable model is found for players, for like the game, it's gonna be hard to see the other regions regrow, let's say.